Welcome to Guys in the Zone Talk Show, your place for news and tips on land and life in Costa Rica's Southern Pacific Zone.
Hi, I'm Ben.
And I'm Rod.
We are the Guys in the Zone. And we're doing a talk show from our new office. We have moved yet again.
Yeah, we moved down the road about 5 minutes from Uvita, that would be south, along the coastal highway to a building that is known for the Roadhouse restaurant and bar. It also happens to be my wife's building. So we
have an inn with the landlady.
That's right.
It's right across the highway from Ballena. So
it's really a great space because she's got a neat little, it's called a Ropa Americana, which is like secondhand clothing and furniture boutique. And she rents out to a guy who's running the Roadhouse restaurant and bar, and they have live music, and so the energy is really good here. We're also a little bit off the beaten path, so I think that's going to increase productivity, at least for the two of us.
Well, I think, if I can say this, I think we've got one of the nicest, if not the nicest office in the zone. It's just so nice. It's spacious. We actually have air conditioning. We've always had air conditioning, but we didn't think we were going to use it here. Turns out we're using it. It's very comfortable. It's just a nice setting. Also, the building that we're in, it's all wood, which I know that may sound like a weird point to make when you live somewhere else, but here in Costa Rica, you get used to being in cement buildings. And so to be in a wood structure is really comfortable. It's very cozy and nice.
Yeah. No, I'm excited about it, and I know you are too.
So that's that bit of information. There's a number of news items that we haven't done a talk show in a while. So
I just got back from California, going back to see family and friends, and after about a week of hanging out with people who are doing this all day long on their, it gets a little old, and not as much of that going on down here in the jungle. One of the benefits of living a more simple life.
It's kind of funny because when Rod, before he left on this trip, he was convinced that us guys in the zone really ought to have iPhones because you can get them through Issei, the phone company for the country, and he just felt that would really help our productivity. He came back from this trip saying, I will never get an iPhone after seeing so many people living, sitting at a table with friends and stuff, but, communicating with the palm of their hand. So anyway, that's our snooty live in Costa Rica point of view.
I also miss the warm water and surf along with my beautiful family and great business partners. So always happy to return to Costa Rica, and
it's nice to have you come back.
Thank you. Well, you're getting ready to take
I'm going to be heading up pretty soon too. I'm looking forward to it. I think one of the real tricks to living in Costa Rica is leaving Costa Rica on a regular basis. It's so amazing to come home to Costa Rica. But after you've been here for a long time, I've been here for longer than 6 months. And it's the first time in years that I've stayed here longer than 6 months without leaving. And it definitely, you just need to kind of get out. And it's really, we're definitely living in the jungle. It's definitely a rustic, kind of backwoodsy way to live, which we love. But it's nice to get out and get a little bit of culture.
Yes, no doubt about it.
By traveling a bit. So anyway, a lot of things going on. The expat community is all kind of preparing for some of the changes that are going on in the United States with accounting requirements, banking requirements, declaration of corporations. Now these are things that have always been required,
right,
but they're now getting compulsory to where there's some serious fines for not being obedient. And so a lot of people are looking into this, and we're not going to go into that in this talk show, but we are going to do a special segment at some point just to talk about it for those of you who are interested in that information. We're getting as versed as we can about the requirements and how to live down here and satisfy the tightening regulations, if you will, on being an expat, a citizen of the United States, a resident of Costa Rica, living and working here, making money in a different country. So anyway,
and we've been getting a bit of conflicting information from reliable or experienced sources, which has kind of delayed our, releasing that video. I think that'll be one of our hot topics videos.
Well, it seems that's part of living in Costa Rica too, is you getting a definite answer that like everybody says the same thing is really a rare event. It's almost, I view it almost as a luxury to actually go to one attorney who tells you this and another attorney who tells you the same thing. Accountant tells you this, another accountant tells you the same thing. So anyways, it's the art of living in Costa Rica.
Yeah.
So anyway, as far as real estate goes, we're definitely in a quiet time of year, but there's still a considerable amount of activity. I use the word activity. Does that mean sales? In some cases it does. Certainly people here looking. Some showings going on, some offers being made, and
it seems like we say that every show, so it kind of makes me think, there was a time where I thought real estate along with tourism in Costa Rica had a high season, a busy season, and a low season, and you always kind of countered that idea by saying real estate's kind of just throughout the year, and I'm starting to come around to thinking that you're right. It's always, there may be little increases or bursts of activity in December, January, February, which is technically or agreed upon as our high season here, or not green season, but our summer here in Costa Rica, which was winter in Northern California. But yeah, it's pretty steady. I think our talk show is proving that, because I hear us saying these things, and I think, well, if we say it every time, then that means it's always on.
Well, I don't know that moving to a foreign land is a seasonal endeavor.
That's
anyway.
Right.
October, I'll tell you, audience, October is probably a good month to not come here. But other than that month,
unless you love rain,
unless you love just day in, day out heavy duty rain, which frankly I do.
Me too.
I live in the right country, because when it starts raining hard here, man, I put on my swimming suit and I go outside and I walk around in it. It's fantastic. And I watch the rivers running down the sides of the road, and just it's just really quite. You can go for a walk on the beach in the rain here. It's just
it's very
nice. Yeah.
No doubt.
But anyways, what it reminds me of a little bit is when I moved to Aspen, Colorado in 1970, I think it was 78 or 79. There was one season there. It was the ski season. Everybody thinks about Aspen, Colorado. You go there to ski. And that's all they did in 1979 in Aspen, Colorado. Over the years, I lived there for 20 years, and over the 20 years that I was there, the summer season got discovered. And I remember the early years of being there, summer would happen. And it was the most glorious, amazing, beautiful, perfect time of year there. And it was so much, frankly, in my opinion, nicer than winter. And I love winter. We had the snowshoes and skis and snowmobiles and everything. We just loved winter. But the summer was glorious. And it got discovered. I don't know.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, I think it's because generally speaking, people don't like freezing. And it's one of the reasons why people love Costa Rica. We get a lot of Americans, a lot of Canadians, even Europeans that come here because of the weather. It's always warm. It's just whether or not you want rain and warm or dry.
Dry and warm, yeah. Well, I think that we could be seeing a similar thing happen, because people talk about dry season as being the time to come here.
No, you're right.
Those of us that live here feel like the time to be here is when the rains are happening. Right now probably the nicest time of year.
It's my favorite time of year.
And it's kind of quiet as far as tourism goes. There are people here. Our new office actually is attached to a restaurant. The Roadhouse is a restaurant, and there's a good number of people in the restaurant today. But I think what we're going to see, aside from maybe the month of October, is that the rainy season is no longer viewed as off-season.
No,
just like what we saw in Aspen now has two very clear seasons.
Right.
And I don't even know. I think summer might be more of a season than winter. I'm not sure. But in any case,
I think your
that's gonna happen.
original point years ago was correct. How's that feel? Because it's year-round. It's always on, and for good reason. You know, it's
well, for
beautiful
us
here.
in our industry, people moving, making the big move, wanting to see what it's like. Some people actually come down in October because they want to see what the rainiest month of the year is like, because they're going to be living here. They want to know what it's like. But also in the real estate business, if we have 1 or 2 deals in process, we feel busy.
That's right.
So we're like the worst people in the world to ask, how's it going down there? The people to ask are the restaurateurs, the hotels, and the people that sell souvenirs, I guess. Would be the people who can tell you, yeah, there's a lot of people here or not. Real estate agencies don't really know so much. So,
Yeah.
so that's kind of what's happening in the zone. Appreciate you tuning in. And
Absolutely. Mainly wanted to let people who are physically here looking for us in our old office just head south. I think it's 7 kilometers.
and it is kilometer
169.
169. Little signs on the side of the road tell you what kilometer you're at. So we're at 169. Thanks for watching.